Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Sam. Welcome back to another video. I have the brand new iPad mini here. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this product because we haven't seen a new one for the past 3 or 4 years now. It's been a very long time since Apple even talked about or referenced this product. I got a brand new one in space gray, 64 gigabytes right here. And of course, the big change on the inside, the A12 Bionic chip. So it's going to be insanely fast, just as fast as the latest 2018 iPhones. If you're looking forward to this unboxing, as always, drop a like down below. It always helps me out when you guys do that, and hit subscribe so you stay up to date on all the latest Apple news. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box. So here's the box for the iPad mini 5. I just picked it up from my local Best Buy today. Again, space gray 64 gigabyte configuration here. And if you've seen the box for any iPad mini before, you've already seen the box for the iPad mini 5. There's a nice easy pull tab on here that you can just peel back, and it makes opening the plastic and getting into the box really easy. And then when you pop the top off here, my favorite part, next to pulling the plastic off of the iPad itself, you do have the iPad mini 5. But again, you would not know that this is a new iPad until you actually go ahead and open it up and start using the device. Now, situated below per usual, quick start guide. Again, your standard white Apple stickers. They are not color matched, unfortunately, and then some other quick start materials. You've also got your little power brick right here, a little bit bigger on the iPad mini 5 than what we had previously. This time around, it's a 12-watt adapter, so charging your iPad mini is going to be a much quicker experience than it was historically. You've also got your standard lightning cable here. There is no USB-C, no other special ports on the iPad mini, just standard lightning this time around, and it's probably going to stay like that for quite some time now. So unwrapping the iPad mini 5 now, focusing back on the product that all of you are interested in. It looks like any other iPad mini except for some very, very small aesthetic changes. There is still a headphone jack on here, which is really cool. There's also support for the Apple Pencil, but what I want to show you that's aesthetically different, how you could just by looking at the iPad mini 5 differentiate it from something like an iPad mini 4. The mic hole on the back has been relocated. It is now situated in the center. I know these changes are just groundbreaking for you. There are a few things during the setup process that you'll notice. Number one here, because the bezels are thicker on the top and bottom than something like the 2018 iPad Pro, you get a couple of things. First and foremost, you get Touch ID. There is no Face ID on this device. It's going to be the standard fingerprint sensor, but on here you do have the second generation Touch ID sensor, which I don't believe the iPad mini 4 had. It is incredibly fast. It's super quick. You literally just touch the Touch ID sensor with your registered fingerprint and you're instantly into the device. I love it. You'll also notice that there is True Tone with this iPad now, which I would describe as basically on-demand and automatic white balance. You know, if you hold a sheet of paper, if you hold it inside, maybe under fluorescent light versus outside in sunlight, it's going to be a totally different shade of white. In some cases bluer looking, in some cases redder or oranger looking. With the iPad mini 5, you get True Tone, and I recorded this bit during setup. It's a very subtle feature, but one of my favorite Apple features, probably of all time. And it is one of those iPad features that totally fades into the background. You never notice it until it's not there, and then you realize that the screen looks off color with True Tone disabled. So try this out. You can sort of see a subtle difference here, but it is dope. So now the iPad mini 5 is out of the box. I've had a few minutes to spend with it, and I'm already noticing some big changes generation over generation, mainly honestly with the display. So it's a P3 wide color gamut now, which means that everything pretty much is just going to pop on here. It also means that the display is laminated. So finally, it doesn't feel like you're touching glass and then the screen's moving. When you actually touch the screen, it feels like you're directly interacting with the content. It was one of the biggest problems with any iPad without a laminated display, and it just feels so much more responsive and reactive, and the colors on here look incredible. Apple's known for good displays, and this is no exception. Surprisingly, I looked around for new wallpapers, and there are no new on-device wallpapers. It does ship with iOS 12.2, so if you want the latest version of iOS, that comes standard on here, meaning that out of the box, this will work with AirPods 2, which should be coming to me tomorrow. Stay tuned for that video. There is also Apple Pencil support on here, but it's not for the second generation Apple Pencil, and I know why. There's no place to magnetically attach it like you would need to for a second gen Apple Pencil, so it does work with the first gen Apple Pencil, but it's a little bit frustrating because I got rid of my first gen Apple Pencil because I thought that Apple was only moving tech forward. And then in 2019, they announced an iPad that works with the Apple Pencil from 2015 or 2016. So I get it. I know why they did it, but I still don't think that that was the right call because the newest Apple Pencil has some improved functionality. Not only does it have a better, nicer matte finish, you can also double tap on it to switch tools, and you'll just never be able to do that with this iPad in its current state. Camera wise, I'm not expecting a lot. It's got an 8 megapixel shooter on the back, and it looks like an 8 megapixel shooter. You're not going to be blown away. It's not a great camera. Also on the front, I'll pop a quick selfie in here. The selfie honestly doesn't look that bad. You could get away with it, but not the sharpness, the coolness, the crispness, you know? It's not going to be crispy like your iPhone XS or even your new iPad Pro. A lot of people don't understand, but the newest iPad Pros actually have insane cameras, just like the 2018 iPhones. The only other thing that I've noticed about this iPad is the responsiveness. So because this is such a small screen, it feels ridiculously fast. I love my 11-inch iPad Pro. It is much bigger than this iPad mini, but look at the portability I'm getting here. I cannot do this with my iPad Pro. I cannot hold it in my hand. And for somebody that wants just something slightly bigger than your iPhone, this has a 7.9-inch beautiful LCD display on it. So it's not gigantic. It's no 12.9-inch or even 11-inch iPad Pro. No, it doesn't have Face ID. It still has your traditional Touch ID sensor. It still has a headphone jack. It's not boasting the latest and greatest of all of Apple's hardware. But inside, it does have an A12 processor, and I can just show you how responsive this is. If you have an old iPad mini, you probably know how slow it was getting. My mom actually has one, and I've used it before, and even on iOS 12 it sped it up. It's just not that quick. This changes that. This is the iPad mini that should have come out last year, but we waited, and it's finally here. This is the iPad mini 5, and it's definitely the iPad you should buy if you've been waiting to upgrade from a smaller iPad mini, or you're looking for something that is ultra portable. I honestly forgot how much I enjoyed holding an iPad in one hand. You don't have to dual-handed. I mean, you can walk around and on the go, enjoy using an iPad, sort of like you can on a larger sized iPhone. I think it's going to be hard to look at this iPad mini and continue to discredit it. Apple refreshed it. They put their latest processor inside, and you can feel that in everything you do. It doesn't look like this iPad will be slowing down anytime soon, and I think for a lot of people, that was the #1 thing holding them back from buying an older iPad mini. The iPad mini, I would argue, is probably finally worth it again. Alright guys, so that is my iPad mini unboxing. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something new, drop a like down below, always helps me out. And of course, hit subscribe so you stay up to date on the latest with the iPad mini and all future Apple products. I've been Sam, hope you're doing well, and I will catch you in my next video.